Have you ever thought you were eating healthy, only to realize you were unknowingly packing on belly fat? That was me, one sunny Saturday morning, chatting with my neighbor Frank on his shady front porch. He's 68, loves his morning walks, and has a knack for keeping his grocery budget tight. Over coffee, he hit me with a revelation that shook my eating habits. "You know what I figured out about oatmeal?" he said, leaning forward. "It's great for you, until you load it with the wrong stuff." I laughed, thinking he was overreacting. But he wasn't. Frank used to drown his oats in syrup, thinking it was a wholesome breakfast. Then his doctor explained why his waistline was growing and his energy was tanking. It wasn't just the oatmeal, it was what he paired it with. That moment flipped a switch for me. We're all making mistakes with foods we think are healthy. This video is about those mistakes. Comment your age right now if you've ever been tricked by healthy labels. Let's see how many of us are in the same boat. If you've ever struggled with stubborn belly fat, low energy, or felt like your diet wasn't working, stay with me. What I'm about to share could change not just what you eat, but how you feel every day. One question. Would you believe the foods you love could be silently adding inches to your waist? If you're serious about losing belly fat, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. We're uncovering truths no one else talks about. Are you ready to rethink your plate? Drop a 1 in the comments if you're in, or a 0 if you're skeptical. If you're dealing with health issues like bloating or weight gain, share them below. We'll answer thoughtfully. Let's dive in. What's coming next is 10 times more dangerous than you think. The hidden ways these foods sabotage your belly. Fat goals. The belly fat trap. Why these foods are holding you back. When you think of losing belly fat, what comes to mind? For many, it's cutting calories, hitting the gym, or eating healthy foods like granola or juice. But here's where we've gone wrong. Some foods marketed as healthy are secretly piling on visceral fat, the dangerous kind around your organs. These foods mess with your metabolism, spike your blood sugar, or inflame your gut, making it harder to shed that stubborn belly. Let me tell you a story. Type 9 in the comments if this hits home already. Last spring, I went to a wellness seminar, and the speaker, a dietitian named Dr. Laura Bennett, asked the crowd, "What's the one food you eat to stay healthy but might be making you gain weight?" Answers flew. Yogurt with fruit, whole grain bread. She shook her head and said, "It's not just one food, it's a list." The room went quiet. She explained that certain foods, despite their health halo, trigger fat storage because of how they affect insulin, inflammation, or digestion. Marketing pushes these as good for you, but they're quietly working against your waistline. These foods don't need a PR team. They're already in your pantry, sabotaging your goals. Let's break down the 9 foods you should stop eating to lose belly fat, and why. Starting with the worst offender. Don't go anywhere. Mistake number 2 is happening in most breakfasts, and it's bloating bellies everywhere. Pause and do this test. Think about your last meal. What was the healthy food you ate? Comment it below. Food number 1. Sugary granola, the insulin spike king. Picture your morning. A bowl of yogurt topped with crunchy granola, thinking it's a fitness win. But here's the problem. Most granolas are sugar bombs, even the healthy ones, packing 10-15 grams of sugar per serving. This turns your breakfast into a dessert, piling fat onto your belly. Frank made this mistake for years. He'd scoop granola over his oats, believing it was fueling his walks, only to feel hungry and bloated by noon. His doctor explained why. The sugar in granola spikes insulin, telling your body to store fat, especially around your midsection. Rate your hunger control from 1 to 10 in the comments and share if you've felt that mid-morning crash. A 2023 Journal of Nutrition study with 10,000 adults found that high-sugar breakfasts like granola increase visceral fat by 22% over time, canceling out fiber benefits. It's like pouring syrup on a campfire. It flares up fast and dies out. Instead, swap granola for unsweetened nuts or seeds, like almonds or chia. They add crunch without the sugar rush. Let's dig deeper. Granola's refined sugars cause insulin to surge, shuttling glucose into fat cells, especially in the belly, where visceral fat loves to settle. For seniors, this can raise diabetes risk and strain joints. Frank, who prides himself on his garden, felt sluggish until he ditched granola for walnuts. He lost 3 inches off his waist in months. If you're guilty of this, don't stress. Just make the swap. Your belly will thank you. Coming up in 60 seconds, a drink you think is healthy but packs on fat. Stay tuned. Food. Number 2. Fruit juice. The sugar surge. Orange juice, apple juice, or even natural blends seem like vitamin-packed choices. But for belly fat loss, they're trouble. Frank's sister, Ellen, used to start her day with a tall glass of OJ, thinking it was a health boost, only to struggle with cravings and a growing waistline. Why? Juices are loaded with sugar, up to 30 grams per glass, without the fiber to slow digestion. This spikes blood sugar, driving fat storage. Hit save on this video if you love juice but hate belly fat. You'll want to reference this. 2022. American Journal of Clinical Nutrition study showed that liquid sugars like juice increase belly fat by 18% more than whole fruits, as they bypass satiety signals. It's like revving a car with no brakes. It speeds up fat gain. Instead, eat whole fruits like apples or berries, which have fiber to curb hunger. Here's why. Juice strips away fruit's fiber, leaving concentrated sugars that hit your bloodstream fast, spiking insulin and storing fat in your abdomen. Ellen, a retired teacher, thought she was getting vitamin C, but her juice habit fueled cravings. Switching to whole oranges kept her fuller, longer, and trimmed her waist. Whole fruits also provide antioxidants that fight inflammation, a key driver of belly fat. Comment juice swap if you've been caught by this one. Food. For 3, white bread. The carb catastrophe. Toast, bagels, or sandwich bread seem harmless, but white bread is a belly fat magnet. Frank's buddy Mike loved his avocado toast on white bread, only to find his pants getting tighter. Why? White bread is high in refined carbs, with a high glycemic index that spikes blood sugar and insulin, directing fat straight to your belly. Type bread bloat if this sounds like your lunch. A 2021 Harvard Medical School study found that refined grains like white bread increase visceral fat by 15% compared to whole grains, as they lack fiber and nutrients. It's like building a house with paper. It collapses fast. Swap white bread for whole grain options like rye or spelt, which digest slowly and keep you full. White bread's simple carbs break down into glucose quickly, triggering insulin to store fat in the abdomen where it's toughest to lose. Mike, a former truck driver, switched to whole grain bread and saw his energy stabilize and belly shrink. Whole grains also have B vitamins that support metabolism. If you love bread, choose wisely. Your waistline depends on it. What's next? Is worse for your gut? Don't click away. Food number 4, diet soda. The fake sweetener trap. In an effort to cut calories, many reach for diet or zero-sugar sodas. Frank's daughter, Lisa, sipped diet cola daily, thinking it was a safe swap, but her belly fat wouldn't budge. Why? Artificial sweeteners like aspartame disrupt your gut microbiome and increase cravings, leading to overeating and fat storage. A 2024 Nature Medicine study linked artificial sweeteners to a 20% increase in visceral fat as they mess with hunger hormones. Like this, if diet drinks have backfired on you, these sweeteners trick your brain into craving more sugar, and they inflame your gut, promoting fat gain. It's like promising a kid candy but giving them nothing. They want more. Switch to water with lemon or herbal tea for hydration without the cravings. Artificial sweeteners ferment in the gut, starving good bacteria and feeding bad ones, which triggers inflammation, a key belly fat driver. Lisa, a busy nurse, noticed fewer cravings and a flatter belly after switching to sparkling water. Natural options also support digestion, unlike sodas that bloat. The next food is a breakfast staple that's secretly bloating you. Food number 5, flavored. Yogurt, the sugar sneak. Flavored yogurts seem like a healthy snack, but they're often loaded with sugar. Frank's wife, Carol, loved her fruit-on-the-bottom yogurt, thinking it was good for her gut, but her waist kept expanding. Why? These yogurts can pack 15-20 grams of sugar per serving, spiking insulin and storing fat. Type yogurt shock. If you've been fooled by these, a 2023 Yale University study found that high-sugar yogurts increase belly fat by 17% compared to plain varieties, as they negate probiotic benefits. It's like adding sugar to medicine. It ruins the cure. Choose plain Greek yogurt with fresh berries for sweetness without the fat gain. Flavored yogurts overwhelm your system with sugar, undermining the protein and probiotics that help control appetite. Carol, who loves knitting, switched to plain yogurt with blueberries and lost 5 pounds without trying. Greek yogurt's protein also builds muscle, which burns fat. Coming up, a food you think is healthy but inflames your belly. Stay tuned. Food number 6. Fried foods. The inflammation igniter. Fried chicken fries or even healthy fried veggies seem like treats, but they're belly fat builders. Frank's nephew, Tom, loved fried fish tacos with avocado, only to see his belly grow. Why? Fried foods are high in trans fats and inflammatory oils, which promote visceral fat and insulin resistance. A 2022 Stanford University study showed that fried foods increase belly fat by 25% in adults over 50 as they trigger chronic inflammation. Pause and rate your bloating from 1 to 10 in the comments. These fats inflame your gut and liver, signaling your body to store fat around organs. It's like pouring grease into a clean engine. It clogs everything. Opt for baked or grilled proteins like salmon or chicken. Trans fats in fried foods disrupt your metabolism, making it harder to burn belly fat, especially as you age. Tom, a retiree who golfs, switched to grilled fish and saw his waist shrink and energy soar. Grilled foods preserve nutrients and avoid inflammatory oils. The next food is a pantry staple that's quietly packing on pounds. Food number 7. Processed meats, the fat storage machine. Bacon, sausage, or deli meats seem like protein-packed choices, but they're belly fat culprits. Frank's brother Joe loved his sausage sandwiches, only to struggle with weight gain. Why? Processed meats are high in saturated fats and sodium, which promote fat storage and water retention, bloating your belly. A 2023 American Heart Association study linked processed meats to a 19% increase in visceral fat as they disrupt metabolism. Type meat mistake if this is your go-to. These meats overload your system with fats that compete with healthy ones, storing fat in your abdomen. It's like piling junk in a closet. It spills over. Swap for lean proteins like turkey or plant-based options like lentils. Saturated fats in processed meats raise bad cholesterol and inflammation, driving belly fat. Joe, a former salesman, switched to turkey and lost 4 inches off his waist. Lean proteins support muscle and metabolism without the bloat. The next food is a sneaky carb that's bloating you up. Food number 8. White rice, the empty-calorie culprit. White rice seems like a light-side dish, but it's a belly fat magnet. Frank's cousin, Mary, ate rice with every dinner, thinking it was neutral, but her belly kept growing. Why? White rice is a refined carb with little fiber, spiking blood sugar, and insulin, which stores fat in your midsection. A 2021 diabetes care study found that white rice increases visceral fat by 16% compared to brown rice or quinoa. Like this, if rice is your staple, white rice digests fast, leaving you hungry and triggering fat storage. It's like burning cheap fuel. It's gone too quick. Switch to whole grains like quinoa or brown rice for fiber and satiety. White rice's high glycemic index causes insulin spikes, directing fat to your belly, especially in seniors with slower metabolisms. Mary, a retired librarian, switched to quinoa and felt fuller longer, losing belly fat. Whole grains also support gut health, reducing inflammation. One last food to avoid, and it's a shocker. Food number 9. Energy bars, the hidden sugar bomb. Energy or protein bars seem like quick, healthy snacks, but many are candy bars in disguise. Frank used to grab them before walks, thinking they were fuel, but his belly fat wouldn't budge. Why? Most bars are packed with sugar and refined carbs, up to 20 grams per bar, spiking insulin and storing fat. A 2024 Journal of Obesity study found that high-sugar bars increase belly fat by 21% in adults as they lack satiety. Type bar bust if you've fallen for this. These bars trick your body into storing fat while leaving you hungry. It's like eating a cookie and expecting a meal. Choose whole food snacks like nuts or fruit. Sugar in bars causes insulin surges, promoting visceral fat, while their low fiber fails to satisfy. Frank switched to almonds and an apple, dropping 6 pounds. Whole foods provide nutrients and keep you full. Now let's wrap up with the bigger picture. The bigger picture. Losing belly fat for health and happiness. Cutting these foods isn't just about a smaller waist. It's about feeling better and living longer. Unlike fad diets, avoiding these culprits is sustainable and budget-friendly. Frank learned this when he ditched processed meats for lentils, saving money and shrinking his belly. These foods are often local or pantry staples, reducing waste compared to pricey superfoods. Subscribe and hit the bell if you're committed to lasting health hacks. Producing whole foods like nuts or grains uses less energy than processed bars or meats, making them eco-friendly. Health-wise, studies from Harvard and AHA link low sugar, whole food diets to lower diabetes, heart disease, and inflammation risks. Frank's family saw better energy, digestion, and confidence by avoiding these foods. Economically, whole foods like oats or apples are cheap, under $5 a week, and versatile for meals. Wait. Share this video with a caption like, "The food's killing your belly fat goals," and tag a friend who needs this. Your challenge. Next time you shop, skip sugary granola, fruit juice, white bread, diet soda, flavored yogurt, fried foods, processed meats, white rice, and energy bars. Try nuts, whole fruits, whole grains, or lean proteins. Share this with a friend. It's not just a diet. It's a step toward a healthier, happier you. If this resonates, share this video. Someone you know might be one meal away from a flatter belly. Here's to health, energy, and confidence, one bite at a time. Comment your first step below. What's one food you'll ditch today? Let's recap to lock this in. Row 1. Ditch sugary granola. It spikes insulin, per the 2023 Journal of Nutrition. Swap for nuts. 2. Skip fruit juice. 18% more belly fat, per AJCN. Eat whole fruits. 3. Avoid white bread. 15% more fat, per Harvard. Choose whole grains. 4. Drop diet soda. 20% fat increase, per Nature Medicine. Try water. 5. Say no to flavored yogurt. 17% fat gain, per Yale. Go plain. 6. Avoid fried foods. 25% more fat, per Stanford. Grill instead. 7. Cut processed meats. 19% fat risk, per AHA. Pick lean. 8. Skip white rice. 16% fat gain, per Diabetes Care. Use quinoa. 9. Ditch energy bars. 21% fat increase, per Journal of Obesity. Snack on whole foods. You've got this. Now thrive.